Shalom, family. This is Elder Jenkins with the King James Bible University. And I want to speak to you on the topic, Thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So, family, we know that we're here in this wilderness right now. And we're trying to make our way back home. And these teachings that we do here at the King James Bible University and the Lost Sheep of the House of Israel are spiritual teachings to feed your spirit, your soul, your mind, and you have the information that you need to be on this journey that he have us on. And we know that it's going to come a time where it's going to be a famine upon the land, and it's going to be a lot of people that's not going to take heed to the warnings. They're not going to take heed to the information that is given. And it's going to be a troublesome time. But for those of you that are taking notes and meditating, you're salawing over the word, and not only that, you're living your life according to the word and making the proper adjustments, it's going to be a time where thou shalt be merry and have abundance. Because why? You made sure that it was meat in his storehouse. You made sure you brought the tithes, meaning the portions of knowledge and the offerings, into the storehouse. It's going to be a time where thou shalt be merry and have abundance while everyone else is going through turbulence. Cannot figure out why things is going the way it's going. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this teaching. Once again, I'm Elder Jenkins with the King James Bible University. And it's my prayer that someone would be richly edified as we go through this teaching. Thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So we're going to get started at the book of Revelations, chapter 12, and we're going to hit verses 1 through 4b. And it says, And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And we know this dragon is talking about the ancient and honorable, that Leviathan, Satan, the devil. It say, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. So let's think about this thing for a minute, family. We know this great wonder in heaven, this woman clothed with the sun. She was clothed with wisdom, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. But then we see here in verse 3, he said, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and remember, a red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, all of these different lineages, and 7 crowns upon his head. So in other words, he got his own knowledge and his own doctrine, his own faith, his own belief system. And look what it say, in his tail. We know this tail is talking about his ministers, his leaders. His tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. The stars of heaven is the children of light, the ones that's supposed to be full of light. A third part of them was drew by the tail of the dragon. and did cast them to the earth. Wow. And just to prove the point that this tail is his ministers, let's go here. Let's keep an eye on tail. Keyword tail. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 15 and 16. He says, the ancient and honorable, this is that red dragon. It was just a parable over there in Revelations. The ancient and honorable, he is the head. See, it told us, let's go back over there for a minute to Revelation. It said he had 7 heads. Revelations 12 and 3, it said, and there appeared another one in heaven, and behold, a red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. This is that ancient and honorable. 7 heads. He got a whole bunch of different flood of doctrines that he's going to push out. I just want to make sure we saw that connection. Let's go back to Isaiah 9, 15 and 16. He says, the ancient and honorable, he is the head. And the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. And he told us in Revelation that his tail drew a third part of the stars in heaven. It drew a third part of the children of the light, the children of the day. A third part of them was drew by the tail, by the prophets of the ancient and honorable, by the ministers of the ancient and honorable that's teaching their doctrine, that's teaching their knowledge, that's teaching their wisdom, that's teaching their way. This is what happened. He said, for the leaders of this people caused them to err. These prophets, these ones that's teaching lies, caused the people to err because the tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, and it was cast down to the earth. He said, for the leaders of these people caused them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. They are destroyed because they are learning from the ancient and honorable in his workers, his ministers. See, over in Revelations is giving us in parable form. Right here in Isaiah, we just telling you straight up what time it is. Let's hit Revelations chapter 6 and verse 13 to get a silhouette picture of what this looks like. Chapter 6 and verse 13 says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. The children of light fell into the earth, even as comparison a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. So in other words, you went trying to teach before it was time. You learn a little bit of truth, and now you want to go up against a full-grown serpent. A full-grown serpent that's working for the ancient and honorable, and you get shaken of that mighty wind. You're going to get shaken of that mighty spirit. You're going to get shaken by that mighty spirit because he's telling us right here in Revelations chapter 12 and verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads, and his tail, his prophets that teaches lies, drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. This is what happened because you just learning truth. You just learning the ways of Christ, and you going up against a full-grown serpent. This is what's going on. And you got shaken by that mighty wind, by that mighty spirit. This is what happened, family. Let's keep going. We're going to hit Revelations 12, 4c all the way to verse 8. And it starts right here. And it says, and the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto Yahweh, into his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels, Michael and his messengers fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought in his angels and his messengers. So just as today, it's no different. It says, Michael and his angels, his messengers, fought against the dragon, ancient and honorable. And the dragon, ancient and honorable, fought in his messengers and his prophets, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. Wasn't no place found for him. Let's hit Isaiah chapter 27 and verse 1. It says, in that day the Spirit of God with his sore and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. So the ancient and honorable that is in the midst of the people, he gonna slay him. Gonna slay that crooked serpent, the Leviathan. Why? Because his tail, his prophets that teach lies, was able to drew over a third part of the stars of heaven, the children of light. This should not be, but this is exactly what happened. Let's keep going. Let's hit Revelations chapter 12. And we'll start at verse 9, and we'll go to 10e. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels, his messengers, were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. See, this is salvation coming. Strength coming, the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ coming. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, in verse 15 and 16. It says, thine almighty word, this is that salvation coming. Leap down from heaven out of thy royal throne, as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, and brought thine unfringed commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death, and it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. So this is what happened. Let's keep going. Let's hit Revelations chapter 12, and we're going to start at 10f, and we're going to go to verse 11. It says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, meaning by the life of the Lamb. The life of the Lamb is Christ, when thine almighty word leaped down out of heaven, out of thy royal throne, as a fierce man of war into a land of destruction, meaning a nation of destruction. So it say, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the life of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death. In other words, they loved not their flesh unto death. This is what it's telling us. Loving not the flesh. So let's keep going. And we're going to show a good illustration of loving not the flesh. Let's get Paul to help us out. Romans chapter 7, verses 14 down to 25. He said, for we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that do I not. But what I hate, that do I. If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. He say, for the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. For I delight in the law of Yahweh after the inward man, but I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind, and bringing me into captivity to the law of sin, which is in my members. He said, O wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? I thank Yahweh through salvation, the anointed one, Yahweh Shah the Messiah, our creator. So then with the mind, I myself serve the law of God, but with the flesh, the law of sin. So family, this is the reason why he said here in Revelations 12 and 11, he said, and they overcame him by the life of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their flesh unto death. This is what it's saying. Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. Let's see here. Okay, it says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. So this is what we must do. Not conforming to the flesh, not loving the flesh or any of these things, but presenting our bodies as a living sacrifice. Revelations 12 and 12. He says, therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. See, this is part of that war that's in heaven that he's talking about. 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. He said, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. This is his job, and this is what he does. So he's letting us know in this parabolic form what Satan, this red dragon with these 7 horns, that his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, he's letting us know what he's coming to do. So let's hit Job chapter 1, verse 6 through 12. He says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Spirit of God, and Satan came also with them. And the Spirit of God said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Spirit of God and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Family, this is what's going on right now. Everything we read in here, this is happening right now in real time. He said, and the Spirit of God said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? You put your name there, whatever your name is, hast thou considered my servant, whatever your name is, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feared Yahweh and eschewed evil. Then Satan answered the Spirit of God and said, do Job fear God for naught? Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he have on every side? Thou hast blessed, given wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Spirit of God said unto Satan, behold, all that he have is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Spirit of God. So this is what's going on right now in real time, family. This is what's going on right now in real time. Revelations chapter 12. And we're going to hit verse 13 through 15. And it says, and when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of an eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. So we just learned the other night in the teaching that Elder Johnson did about the eagles, what this means. It says, so and to the woman were given 2 wings. We know these wings mean strength and power. So to the woman was given strength and power of a great possessor. The eagle means possessor, of a great possessor, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. So this is the understanding. But keep in mind what the serpent is coming to do. We're going to revisit this one more time over in Isaiah chapter 9, because the serpent is after this woman and the man child. Isaiah 9, 15 and 16, the ancient and honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. So we always keep that in mind. It's a fight, it's a war that's going on for your soul. And Ancient Honorable and his prophets that teach you lies is not fighting on your behalf. They're fighting against you. Job 9:24. He says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. So in other words, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he covered the understanding of the teachers thereof. These prophets thereof, they're wicked because they're working for the Ancient and Honorable. He said, if not, where and who is he? He's asking a question. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 through 15. He says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. So don't marvel when you see these things happening, because not only Satan will transform himself into angels of light, but his ministers, his prophets that teach lies, transform themselves into ministers of righteousness. That's why you can't go by the outward appearance. You got to go by the words that's coming out of their mouth. Are they speaking with a split tongue, or are they speaking straight truth from the oracles of God? Jeremiah 46, verses 7 through 9. It says, who is this that cometh up as a flood, whose waters, whose knowledge are moved as the rivers? Egypt, the house of confusion, the disobedient. Egypt, the house of sin, riseth up like a flood. And his waters, his knowledge are moved like the rivers. This is the Ancient and Honorable. And he said, I will go up and I will cover the earth. I will destroy the city, the nation, and the inhabitants thereof. Come up, ye horses, everyone that got their own private understanding. Every prophet that got his own church. Every church corner, y'all come on up, because every one of these different denominations, they got their own different flavor of Christianity. Come ye up, horses, and rage, ye chariots, all of you workers, you leaders, come on up. This is the Ancient Honorable calling you. And let the mighty men come forth, the Ethiopians and the Libyans and that handle the shield, and the Lydians that handle and bend the bow. So in other words, they're going to force their doctrine on you. See, we know the word bend meaning force, and the word bow is meaning their prophet, their mouthpiece. These is the ones that bend the bow. Let's get a little bit more understanding on that. Let's go to Psalms chapter 11 and verse 2. It says, for lo, the wicked bend their bow. They make ready their arrow upon the string, that they may privately shoot at the upright in heart. So what it's telling us, the wicked, they force their prophet, their mouthpiece, the ones that teach lies. They make ready their arrow, meaning their vision and dreams. This arrow is talking about their vision and dreams. They speaking from their own vain imagination, preaching from their own heart. Upon the string is representing the instrument, meaning the voice. Just as you strum a guitar, it makes a sound, a melody. So the string, the instrument is the voice. They're using their voice as a mouthpiece, that they may privately shoot at the upright in heart, but they shooting things that is unrighteous, their own doctrine. That's why he told us over here in Jeremiah, it was so profound. In verse 9, he said, come up, ye horses. Everybody got their own understanding. Enrage, ye chariots that handle and bend the bow, that force their doctrine on the people. Come on, I got plenty of work for you to do. You want a job? I'll give it to you. This was the ancient and honorable. You gonna deceive those stars of heaven? You gonna deceive those children of light? Come on, I got a job for you. I got a church house on every corner, and if you don't have one, I'll help you raise the money to build you one. Psalms chapter 10, verse 7 through 9. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places do he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. See, he drawing you into his net with his doctrine. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor, meaning what? The ones that's lacking knowledge, may fall by his strong ones. His strong ones is his ministers, his prophets. So the poor is the ones that's lacking knowledge. They don't know the truth. They don't know no better. They just believe whatever you preach to them. They don't bring their notebooks and their pen when they go to church. They just bring on their Sunday's best, their best outfit. They want to look good. They just want to sit there and hear, but they're not taking notes to study to show themselves approved. Job chapter 41, verses 1 through 9. He says, canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? Canst thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with an thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Will he make that agreement with thee? He asking that question. Will thou take him for a servant forever? He's asking a question. Will thou play with him as with a bird, or will thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, remember the hope of him is vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? She's asking all of these questions. Verse 34. He beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride. So this Leviathan is nothing to play with, family. If you go to this whole entire Job chapter 41, you'll see where this Leviathan is nothing to play with. The ancient and honorable, he is the head, and the prophet that teacheth lies, he is the tail. Micah chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, thus said the Spirit of God concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry peace, and he that put it not into their mouths. They even prepare war against him. See, they are warring against the children of the righteous. They warring against the children of the light. They was able to drew a third part of the children of the light. Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 20, he said, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the way of other gods, even that prophet shall die. He's talking about the second death. Think about how many prophets out there that's willingly signing up to die the second death because why? They're teaching about another God, teaching another God's doctrine, and not the doctrine of the Most High God of Israel. They're willingly, voluntarily signing up for the second death. Micah chapter 3 and verse 6, he said, therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. So in other words, it's not going to be no wisdom, no knowledge, and no understanding. They're just going to be speaking a vain imagination and things from their heart. It's what's going to be going on. That's basically what's going to be happening. Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 8. He says, the priest said not, where is the Spirit of God? And they that handle the law knew me not. The pastors, these prophets, also transgress against me. They forgot about me. And the prophets prophesied by Baal and walked after things that do not profit. So they was prophesying about another God, a false God, what they was doing. And walking after things that do not profit. In other words, they was on another path. Micah chapter 3, verse 7 through 12. He says, then shall the seers, these same prophets, be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of Yahweh. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of God, and of the judgment and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, his forgetfulness, and to Israel his sin. Hear this, I pray you, ye heads of the house of Jacob, and the princes of the house of Israel, that abhor, that hate judgment, you hate doctrine and teaching, you hate these spiritual teachings that's coming from KJBU, and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Spirit of God and say, is not the Spirit of God among us? They have church anniversaries and pastors' anniversaries and all of these things, men and women and women days. Say, therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps in the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. This is what's going to happen. Jeremiah chapter 2, verses 9 through 14. He says, wherefore I will yet plead with you, said the Spirit of God, and with your children's children will I plead. In other words, he's going to execute his judgment. For pass over the isles of Chittim and see, and send unto Kedar, and consider diligently, and see if there be such a thing. Have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods? But my people have changed their glory for that which do not profit. Be astonished, O ye heavens, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, said the Spirit of God. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters. All of this knowledge that I can give you, that can give you life, you have forsaken, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no knowledge. You forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, the one that can give you life, and you hew you out some cisterns that had a hole in the bottom, can hold no knowledge. He say, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? We're going to show you why he's spoiled. Second Esdras, chapter 2. We're going to hit verses 1 through 32. He says, thus said the Creator, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by men servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despise my counsels. The mother, which is this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this knowledge that bare them, said unto them, go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. We forsake the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We didn't want it. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For ye have sinned before the Creator, your God, and done that thing that is evil before him. But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O my children, and ask mercy of the Creator. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which will not keep my covenant, that thou bring them to confusion, and their mother, the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding, to a spoil, that there may be no offspring of them. So in other words, you won't be able to have the fruits of the Spirit manifesting in you, because you forsake the one that was able to give you this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He said, let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth. For they have despised my covenant, my agreement. Woe be unto thee, Asher, thou that hidest the uprighteous in thee. O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah. So you got a lot of us Hebrews wanting to have our own sense of understanding. We want to ride our own horse. He said, whose land lied in clods of pitch and heaps of ashes. Even so also will I do unto them that hear me not, said the Almighty Creator. Thus said the Creator unto Esdras, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles, which I have prepared for them. They shall have the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor. They shall neither labor nor be weary. Go, and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good. For I live, said the Creator. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as a pillar. In other words, make their path as a pillar. feed them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Make sure they're standing on a sure foundation. They're standing upon that rock, which is Christ. For I have chosen thee, said the Creator. And those that be dead, I will raise up again from their places and bring them out of the graves. For I have known my name, my way in Israel. Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, said the Creator. For thy help, I will send my servants, Esai and Jeremy, after whose counsel I have sanctified, I have set apart, I have separated and prepared for thee 12 trees, 12 elders laden with divers fruits, divers gifts, and as many fountains of flowing with milk and honey, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and 7 mighty mountains whereupon there grow roses and lilies, whereby I will fill thy children with joy, telling us what they would do. Do right to the widow. Do right. That's what it wants us to do. Judge for the fatherless. Give to the poor, the one that's lacking knowledge. Defend the orphan and clothe the naked. You clothe them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Heal the broken and the weak. Laugh not the lame man to scorn. Defend the maimed, and let the blind man come into the sight of my clearness. You teaching them the ways of truth. Keep the old and young within thy walls. Wheresoever thou findest the dead, take them and bury them, and I will give thee the first place in my resurrection. You give them this truth so they can bury the flesh. That flesh can be buried because it's precious in the sight of the Spirit of God are the death of his saints. The dead can be buried. The flesh can be buried so they can live unto Christ. He said, I will give thee the first place in my resurrection. Abide still, O my people, and take thy rest. For thy quietness still come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse. Establish their feet. In other words, establish their path. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish. They gonna do what I called them to do. They gonna give you what I called them to give you. For I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful. But thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Creator. They're going to envy you, but they're not going to be able to do anything. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. See, family, I want you to look back up here again at verse 27. He said, be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness coming, it's going to be trouble like you never seen. It's going to be a famine like you never seen. A spiritual famine. When folks find out that what they had their faith built up in was not the solid rock of Christ. What they gave their whole life to, it was not on a sure foundation. When that time come, he said, others shall weep and be sorrowful for everything that they devoted their life to. He said, but thou Thou shalt be merry and have abundance, because you're going to be storing meat in your storehouse. These judgments, these doctrine and teaching. Verse 31. No, verse 30, he said, be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, said the Creator. Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, said the Creator Almighty. Embrace thy children until I come, and show mercy unto them. For my wells run over, and my grace shall not fail. So he's telling us his wells of knowledge, it runs over. His cup runneth over. He said, embrace thy children until I come, and show mercy unto them. So it's our job to always be willing to learn, to study, to take notes, to salah, because he already have us set up right here in Jeremiah 3:15. He tell us, he says, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. He's telling us what he will do. Their job, his servant's job, is to feed you with knowledge and understanding. So now he's telling us right here. Let's get there. I want to get right here to verse 26. He said, as for the servants whom I have given thee, these same ones that I gave you according to my heart, that would feed you with knowledge and understanding, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. In verse 32, embrace thy children until I come, and show mercy unto them. For my wells, my knowledge run over, and my grace shall not fail. That's what he's telling us. The prayer of Azariah. Let's get there. And this Bible here is going to be the 3 Holy Children song. So hold on one second. Let me find this. 1 second. And we're going to hit verses 60 down to 68. It says, O ye children of men, bless ye the Creator. Praise and exalt him above all forever. O Israel, bless ye the Creator. Praise and exalt him above all forever. O ye priests of the Creator, bless ye the Creator. Praise and exalt him above all forever. O ye servants of the Creator, bless ye the Creator. Praise and exalt him above all forever. O ye spirits and souls of the righteous, bless ye the Creator. Praise and exalt him above all forever. O ye holy and humble men of heart, bless ye the Creator. Praise and exalt him above all forever. O Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, bless ye the Creator. Praise and exalt him above all forever. For he hath delivered us from hell, and saved us from the hand of death, the power of death, and delivered us out of the midst of the furnace, and burning flame. Even out of the midst of the fire have he delivered us. Oh, give thanks unto the Creator, because he is gracious, for his mercy endureth forever. Oh, all that worship the Creator, bless the God of gods. Praise him and give thanks, for his mercy endureth forever. And I'm going to go back here to 2nd Esdras, chapter 2 again, for the ones that's following his path, the ones that's doing the things that he called us to do. He said in verse 28 and 29, he said, the heathen shall envy thee. They're going to despise thee, speak evil of thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, said the Creator. My hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell. He won't see hell. Psalms 91, verses 1 and 2. He said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That's where his hand's going to cover thee. I will say of the Spirit of God, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him will I trust. So family, I hope and pray that something was shown and said to help you on your journey. But if we do like he's calling us to do, he already done showed us where Satan, the devil, that old serpent, that red dragon, the ancient and honorable, which is the head, and his prophet that teacheth lies, which is the tail, that drew a third part of the stars of heaven, the children of light. It's going to come a time where everyone that was following his doctrines, everyone that signed up to be a horse and a rider for Satan, it's going to be a time where all of the people that followed them, they're going to be in trouble. They're going to be worrying. They're going to be sorrowful. The scripture is telling us they're going to be sorrowful, and they was going to be in error and destroyed for lack of knowledge. But thou shalt be merry and have abundance, because thou followed his way. So family, I want to say a happy Sabbath to everyone this Sabbath morning. And this is one I want you to just go over and take your time, especially over in Revelations. It's mostly all parable, and we just went other places to break down that parable where you can see it in plain sight. So I'm going to say a shalom to everyone until we meet again. Shalom.